Welcome, folks, to another episode of the Idea Vault, where we pick out ideas from our old vaults, and you get to see live us generating new ideas and evaluating them on the fly. This is the ground floor, folks. You're seeing the start here, and so today we are going to be kind of ideating and evaluating on the idea that ceilings are underutilized. This idea came from my intense boredom in college, where wasn't really the best student of all time, and so I would stare at the ceiling a lot. And I noticed, like, why is there nothing on the ceiling? Like, we have completely wasted this space. And I was dating someone at the time who was an art student, and in her elementary art classrooms, oh no, this was from my art. No, this was my science class. One of our teachers had us take down the ceiling tiles and paint elements on them and then put the ceiling tiles back up. And I was like, that's such a cool idea. It made that super fun. It made the ceiling super fun, and it also helped us learn chemistry. And so that's always kind of always been stuck in my head, is like, let's think about, ceiling advertisements, ceiling arts, ceiling screens, like, which actually sounds like a terrible idea, but yeah. So very interesting kind of stuff here related to ceilings. And I think an interesting point of background is, like, people rarely look up, like in all the spy shows I've watched, like Burn Notice, it's like, if you're going to hide, you should hide above people because people don't look up that much. And I guess that's probably why ceilings are underutilized. But yeah.
Well, you've sort of got um two problems. One is how to turn boring ceilings interesting, and then another is how to turn ceilings more functional, right? If you put a skylight up there, it doesn't matter that it's boring because it has another function, and that is letting light in.
Yeah. Yeah. So we should break this out into two problems.
Not really, not necessarily. I don't think those are distinct enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I think ceiling advertisements is generally not a great idea.
No, generally more advertisements is not the best.
Plus, it's a fire hazard, probably. Well, this is another reason, like, it's a fire hazard, like that this. But yeah, like, things on the ceiling are generally fire hazards for a variety of reasons. So that's a bummer. I'm trying to think. Ceiling art is interesting, though. I really like the idea of ceiling art.
Yeah, ceiling art is fun, especially as like a DIY project. Well, I guess. Yeah. The Sistine Chapel.
Thank you. Couldn't remember it.
Michelangelo's DIY project, just casually throws that up there.
I mean, ceiling screens might change as screens become thinner and more flexible.
I think you don't need a flexible screen.
Not necessarily, but think about how much easier it is to put on a ceiling if you could roll it on,
True.
essentially, versus like having to make sure it doesn't warp or bend, or and then you think about like building shift and
yeah.
that lever is likely going to change soon.
But then also, we don't look up. So then why would we invest large sums into that?
It's also annoying to look up.
Yeah.
The user experience on this would be subpar. I think the only viable solution is ceiling art
Do
because
you
you look up occasionally. Yeah.
do you have any examples from your experience of good ceilings that aren't tall? Because I think of, like the
Mm,
atrium of the science center in the college we went
hmm.
to, a fun glass ceiling
Yeah.
that was, like 4 stories above where the floor was. And you think about, chapels and cathedrals with, these big tall ceilings. But is there, ooh, um, in the book of pattern language, they talk about variable ceiling height. And
What?
yeah,
What is this
like
book called?
a pattern language, you would really like it, I think.
Who's it? Do you know who it's by?
Not off the top of my head.
Oh man, wrong button. Sorry. A pattern. So, and they talk about variable ceilings.
No, like, as
Variable.
people, we like ceilings of different heights. So, certain rooms should have, shorter ceilings than others. And one of the ways they talk about is putting like storage up above. Um, yeah, I would need to refer back to that to see what exactly they are talking about. But
So that would be the utility, like trying to make so
yeah,
storage ceilings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's the when we were kids, and put the glow in the dark stars on the ceiling.
Yeah. That's
We
yeah.
need to bring those back, but for adults.
Dude, that could actually be a killer move. I think the lights, like the light strands that people put up, kind of fill this niche. You know what I mean?
Like the every
The
girl's room in college.
yes, or well, I also feel like a lot of my residents had them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And that
just
was like the party vibe, or the like super chill, let's hang vibe. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I feel like there's like string, I guess string lights, like with the old kind of
yeah, like the
incandescent.
classic
Yeah,
Christmas lights.
yeah. There's so many. So I guess lights on ceilings are more common. Um,
Yeah.
trying to think of what else we.
You could hook up RGB LED strips around your
Yeah,
ceiling.
those that. Yeah, and you can change the colors. My brother has one of those, and his TV remote is on the same frequency as the lights. So when he changes the channel, it changes the lights.
Perfect.
Really convenient for him.
Yeah.
Very nice. Um, so I feel like ceiling screens, ceiling advertisements. I'm gonna like, can I cross these out? I can, I think. What's that in Markdown? Oh, Neil, I don't remember how to cross things out. Ah, bummer. They don't need to be crossed out. But I feel like ceiling art and storage ceilings are probably the most promising. But okay, are you ready to rate this one?
Oh, sure.
I think I have done all I can on this one. I think. Are you ready to wrap?
Yeah. Um,
Okay. I think
Let me think about my
I'm gonna
ratings
think of
real quick.
mine. I think I have mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have mine.
For motivation, I give it a 0.
I unfortunately agree. This is an old Jimmy idea. Expertise.
I'd say 0.
Impact.
I give it a 0.
I'm actually going to give it a 2. I think this is still not or not now.
Yeah.
But I really feel like this is kind of an underutilized kind of primitive of ceilings, you know.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
think about how much we think about floors, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of it
Ceiling
digs at
rugs.
me. Oh
But
my god.
like ceilings aren't functional because think how easy it
Yeah.
would be to screw in like a hook, a- and then you could just hang up your hammock from the ceiling, right? But because we have drop ceilings and drywalled ceilings, we don't know where the studs are. So it doesn't
Oh.
have, some of the flexibility, you know, because in garages we utilize the ceilings a lot more because we, hang bikes and whatever. But inside we lose that functionality.
That's a really good point. Neil, dropping some knowledge right at the end here. Much
Yep.
appreciated, folks. All right. Take care and think about your ceilings.